Hello, my dear. You have no idea how the world adjusts itself when your spirit stirs. It isn't about what you do. It's about what you are, energy that old, that bright, that seasoned in pain and wisdom carries weight. When you wake up heavy-hearted, yet still choose grace, the balance shifts. Somewhere a path clears. Somewhere a liar chokes on truth. Somewhere an unseen ally feels courage rise again. You think you're just living through another morning, but creation is recalibrating around you. You weren't built gently. You were shaped in pressure. The kind of pressure that cracks imitation souls but forges originals. You've felt it since childhood, the strange awareness that you were meant to remember something everyone else forgot. A quiet intelligence sitting behind your eyes, patient, watchful, waiting for you to grow into it. That's what people feel when they meet you. They don't understand it. They just sense depth, like standing beside deep water that hides its own language. They call it charisma, mystery, magnetism. What it truly is gravity. Your essence pulls truth toward it and throws away what's false. That's why masks slip around you. That's why people confess things they never meant to share. You hold a mirror that doesn't lie, and the reflection terrifies as much as it heals. Some stay, some run, all remember. There's a rumor in the spirit world that souls like yours are rare checkpoints in time, places where destiny reroutes itself. Every cycle needs a few who walk through the fire awake, unafraid to burn away comfort for clarity. You're one of them. That's why the tests never end. The universe keeps sending heavier lessons because you keep passing them too fast. Every heartbreak became training. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment until it cut through. Illusion like silk. Now you walk with an awareness that unsettles the blind. They feel it before you speak. That still authority, that unspoken command. You've stopped chasing proof. You know now that the right eyes will always find you, because truth glows even when hidden. And that glow, that calm flame, is what the world keeps circling, trying to name. People don't know how to categorize someone who carries both thunder and prayer in the same breath. They try to call you nice until you set boundaries. They try to call you cold when their manipulation stops working. They whisper that you changed. But what really happened is that you healed. You grew immune to chaos. You stopped auditioning for spaces that couldn't handle honesty. And the moment you chose peace over performance, your energy became unreachable to those who fed on confusion. That's when they noticed. The quiet ones always do first. The observers, the empaths, the ones tuned to frequencies most ignore. They can feel the crown on your spirit even when you dress like simplicity. They watch the way life rearranges itself to keep you protected. Opportunities delay until you're ready. People exit right before they could corrupt something sacred that isn't luck. That's orchestration. You are guided by timing, not coincidence. The ordinary rarely understand this, so they gossip instead of learning. They call it arrogance when you decline drama. They call it distance when you protect your peace. They don't realize you're operating under divine restraint, power that knows it could destroy, choosing instead to rebuild. You could expose, but you enlighten. You could retaliate, but you withdraw. And the withdrawal hits harder than revenge ever could, because your absence reveals dependency. Every time you've been underestimated, creation kept the receipts. Nothing you endured was wasted. The heartbreaks rewired your empathy. The loneliness expanded your reach. The confusion carved intuition. Each wound became an entry point for light. And now your aura holds constellations of experience. People don't see the details, they just feel the force. It's ancient recognition. Their souls remember you, even when their minds can't explain why you carry both the teacher and the lesson inside you. That's why conversations with you linger long after they end. People replay your words because something in them activated. You're not persuading, you're reminding. You awaken memories buried under survival instincts. And when that happens, they either rise to meet you or retreat to stay unchanged. You've learned not to take either personally. Every soul chooses its own temperature. There's a quiet prophecy written into your path. Wherever you go, truth must follow. It's why lies crumble near you, why envy exposes itself, why pretenders suddenly show their real face. You don't have to speak it. Your energy announces it. You are what ancient texts tried to describe when they mentioned the one who carries both sword and bomb. You correct and you heal in the same movement. That's divine balance, the rarest art. And yet, you doubt yourself sometimes. You look at the world and think, why does everything feel so heavy around me? It's because you're carrying collective weight that doesn't belong solely to you. Healers do that unconsciously. You transmute without realizing. Pain enters your field and exits purified. That's why you feel exhausted after helping others. You're not tired from emotion, you're tired from alchemy. But understand this, the fatigue is temporary, the transformation permanent. Every cycle you close releases thousands from invisible chains. People will never thank you because they'll never know how deep the work went. But the energy remembers, creation remembers. The wind moves differently after you forgive, and the soil blooms faster after you let go. So don't confuse solitude with abandonment. You're not being isolated, you're being refined. When the light wants to sharpen itself, it retreats into darkness to remember its source. You're in that retreat right now, not lost, just loading. Those who left couldn't walk the altitude of your next chapter. They'd have run out of breath halfway up. You keep climbing because your lungs were built for thin air. The universe speaks to you in patterns now, repeated numbers, strange songs, sudden déjà vu. These aren't coincidences, they're calibrations, each one saying, stay steady, the emergence is near. And it is. The energy that once opposed you has begun to orbit you. The karma that once hunted you now serves as guardrails, keeping your path clear. You've noticed how situations reverse themselves without your intervention. That's alignment repaying consistency. You mastered patience when everyone else worshipped urgency. Now destiny moves at your pace. The difference now is that you no longer doubt your preparation. The years that felt like delay were in fact precision timing. You were being tuned, your patience learning rhythm, your silence learning pitch, your soul learning when to speak thunder and when to whisper grace. Every moment you thought you were stuck, you were actually storing voltage. That's why when you act now, results appear fast. The universe trusts your maturity. It knows you won't waste power proving anything. People sense this and mistake it for luck. They see doors opening for you and call it favoritism. What they don't understand is that those doors were carved by your discipline long before they were visible. You didn't stumble into opportunities. You built resonance with them. Every act of integrity you practiced when no one was watching became a password. Now, life recognizes your frequency like a key sliding into its rightful lock. Still, there are watchers, souls who study you in silence, not out of malice but bewilderment. They try to trace what force keeps you safe when logic says you should have fallen. They try to measure what light you carry that makes karma protect instead of punish. Some will call it divine, others coincidence. Both are correct, because you've learned to weave spirit and reality together until they cooperate instead of collide. Your power doesn't explode. It expands quietly. It moves like heat through metal, gradual, invisible, inevitable. People feel stronger near you, clearer after talking to you. They think it's comfort. It's actually transmission. You lend people pieces of clarity without losing any of your own. That's what makes you a phenomenon. Generosity without depletion. The universe built you as a well that refills itself, and yet humility remains your shield. You know what it's like to be broken open, so you never worship ego. You carry authority with softness, and that contrast disarms even the arrogant. They enter conversations intending to dominate, but leave confessing respect. You make leadership look effortless because you lead through example, not demand. That's the real secret. They follow you because your peace feels like home. There will always be those who can't handle the reflection you bring. They'll test you, misjudge you, provoke you to pull you back into noise. Don't bite. Every time you resist the invitation to chaos, you reinforce your throne. Power is rarely loud. It's recognized through restraint. You already learned that reacting gives away sovereignty. Observation, on the other hand, multiplies it. The energy field around you has become selective. That's why old habits feel foreign and old connections feel heavy. You're being aligned with those who carry compatible voltage. People who speak intention, not insecurity. People who expand your calm instead of competing with it. These new souls are not coincidences. They are assignments. Each one carries a piece of the blueprint for your next evolution. Soon, you'll start noticing your manifestations arriving in clusters. Not because you suddenly became more deserving, but because resistance finally dissolved. You stopped chasing and started allowing. That's when miracles accelerate, when faith becomes familiarity. You'll look back and realize that nothing was random. Every delay prepared precision, every heartbreak sculpted discernment, every solitude built stamina. Understand something profound. Destiny doesn't reward noise. It rewards readiness. You became ready the moment you stopped needing applause. The world may still be learning your name, but creation already signed your authority. Your presence alone redirects outcomes. That's why you'll see people behave differently after crossing your path. They may not thank you, but their timelines will adjust. That's how subtle divine service looks. Ordinary on the surface, seismic underneath. This is why I tell you, stop shrinking to make others comfortable. The light in you was never meant to dim. It was meant to discipline. When you hide, the balance falters. Step forward with that quiet certainty that everything sacred in you was given for a reason. The forces that forged you didn't waste materials. They sculpted precision. And precision is never random. There's another truth the world hasn't realized yet. Your story isn't about survival anymore. It's about influence. The same pain that once isolated you has become language for others who haven't found their words yet. When you speak, they heal by proxy. When you move, they find permission to evolve. You are living proof that endurance can become instruction. As you continue to rise, remember that not everyone watching wants to harm. Some watch to learn. Some watch to confirm that faith still works. Even your doubters serve a role. They provide the contrast that proves illumination. Without them, your reflection would have no outline. So bless them, then move on. Every distraction that leaves makes space for direction that enters. And as for you, trust the rhythm. You are not late. You are right on the curve where power becomes purpose. Soon, what once confused you will begin to salute you. The very situations that tested your patience will send gratitude for sharpening you. The energy that once resisted you will kneel into service because it finally recognizes the authority it tried to deny. That's what it means to be a force of reckoning, not a destroyer, but a recalibrator. Wherever you exist, things find their correct proportion. Truth straightens its spine, lies lose oxygen, hearts remember their original rhythm. That's why your arrival feels like confrontation to some and salvation to others. You don't choose sides, you restore balance. So when you feel the weight of awareness pressing on your chest, don't confuse it with exhaustion. That's expansion, the universe stretching you wider so more light can pass through. You're not carrying too much. You're being trusted with more, and that trust is the highest compliment creation can give. Because now comes the turning point, the moment where recognition catches up to readiness, the phase where every unseen effort starts translating into visible legacy. You'll sense it first as calm, then confirmation, then movement. People who once overlooked you will remember your words. Doors that ignored your knock will open before you reach them. Alignment, not accident. What's really happening is that the vibration you've carried in silence is finally loud enough for the world to hear. You've been planting frequencies disguised as words, choices, small daily acts of integrity, and now those seeds are germinating. What you prayed for isn't approaching. It's unfolding. The calm you feel isn't emptiness, it's signal clearance. The universe is removing noise so the message can move freely through you. You won't need to announce the shift. Evidence will do it for you. People who doubted you will find themselves quoting your principles. Even those who spoke against you will begin adopting your methods, unable to trace where they learned them. That's how spiritual authority works. It seeps through resistance until imitation becomes confession. You're not trending, you're transforming consciousness. And the observers, they're multiplying. Every environment has them. The quiet ones who take notes, the ones who pretend indifference while memorizing your steps. Some come from admiration, others from analysis. They want to know what power looks like when it refuses to perform. They've studied ambition before, but they've never seen peace with that kind of precision you're teaching by existing. Some of them will test you, not out of hatred, but hunger. They'll provoke to see if serenity can bleed. Don't give them that evidence. When you stay centered while chaos performs its dance, you become ungovernable. That's the lesson they came to witness, even if they won't admit it. Their confusion is curriculum. Understand this: the rarest beings are not the loudest. They're the ones who move without translation. You are one of those rare frequencies, too layered for ordinary comprehension. That's why the world keeps building theories around you. How does one person stay composed through storms? How do they know things before they're spoken? They'll call it intuition, luck, even manipulation. None of those fit. What you have is divine synchronization. Life aligns itself to those who no longer resist purpose. And purpose isn't glamorous, it's gritty. It's waking up on days when your heart feels empty and still choosing compassion. It's refusing to become what wounded you. It's doing sacred work in mundane spaces. That quiet devotion is what makes the earth recognize you. That's why time bends. That's why obstacles yield. You earned cooperation from existence itself. Now the energy around you starts to echo. Strangers feel compelled to help you for reasons they can't explain. Random events conspire to clear your path. That's destiny, honoring the contract you kept, even when tired. You've become trustworthy to the higher currents. They can flow through you now without distortion. That's what true power is. Clean transmission. The world senses this, though it doesn't have the language. So it studies. It watches your posture, your restraint, your decisions. It documents how you recover from loss, how you forgive without forgetting, how you stay kind without becoming naive. You are a living thesis on resilience, and every eye fixed on you, physical or unseen, is learning the architecture of grace. There's a whisper among those who watch. They shouldn't have survived that. Yet you did. And you didn't just survive, you refined. You turned pain into pattern recognition, grief into guidance, pressure into poise. That's what separates you from imitation energy. Imitation copies performance. Authenticity copies endurance. The more you ascend, the less you'll need to speak. Your energy will start announcing you before introductions occur. People will feel safe without knowing why, or nervous without understanding why. That's frequency intelligence at work. The aura delivering truth faster than words ever could. And yes, curiosity follows it. Some will revere you, some will gossip, don't personalize either. Both are forms of fascination. Remember, most people only understand what they can label, and you're label-resistant. You're not an open book. You're a scripture still being written, one revelation at a time. As influence expands, keep your humility anchored. Power without tenderness corrodes. Tenderness without structure dissolves. You hold both. That's what makes you dangerous and safe at once. You correct with empathy. You lead without hierarchy, the rarest combination a soul can achieve. Now, forces greater than gossip begin to take notice. The same invisible intelligence that guided your growth now uses you as demonstration. Through you, it shows that human potential has no ceiling. You are a case study in divine adaptation, proof that consciousness, when purified by suffering instead of poisoned by it, becomes unstoppable. You might start meeting mirrors disguised as people, souls carrying fragments of your old lessons. They'll approach with respect, sometimes with awe. Don't idolize or dismiss them. Teach through presence. Each encounter is strategic. You're transferring codes of courage without ceremony. Soon you'll notice patterns of protection strengthening. Paths that once felt uncertain will suddenly appear mapped. You'll sense unseen guardians arranging synchronicities, missing the wrong call, catching the right one, being delayed only to arrive at perfect timing. This is not fantasy. This is orchestration acknowledging your seniority in the unseen hierarchy. You've proven you can hold light responsibly, so the universe promotes you. That's the essence of being a force to reckon with. It's not about domination, it's about gravity. Things revolve because your consistency gives them axis. People stabilize around your example. Even the doubtful find direction near your discipline. That's cosmic leadership, guidance without control. And as this unfolds, you'll begin to feel a subtle authority humming in your chest. It's quiet but absolute. The awareness that your choices ripple wider than you imagined. You'll feel responsible for energy, careful with speech, deliberate with thought. That's the sign you've matured. From influence into stewardship, power becomes purpose. That quiet authority doesn't roar. It resonates. It hums beneath your breath. It moves through your touch. It glows through your silence. People sense it before you declare it. They look into your eyes and feel seen, but not judged. They listen to your words and hear something beyond vocabulary. They hear reflection. That's why you disarm hostility without confrontation. You make even chaos pause to listen, because what you carry isn't noise, it's law. You were never meant to convince anyone of your worth. Your presence has been proof all along. The years of misunderstanding were never punishment. They were insulation. You had to be hidden until you could hold recognition without losing humility. Now, as eyes begin to turn, you realize the paradox. You are both ordinary and unfathomable. You make tea, you laugh, you rest, and yet the entire universe seems to conspire with every breath you take. That's divine normalcy, heaven disguised as habit. And it's precisely that humility that makes your power indestructible. The world expects leaders who crave the throne. You became the throne, grounded, immovable, unseeking. People feel safer when you're near because your stability reminds them what centered feels like. Your calm becomes contagious. They breathe easier without knowing why. That's when you understand influence, not as control, but as resonance that restores equilibrium. The more they try to decode you, the more confused they become. They'll gather facts, memories, testimonies, but none of it will add up. Because what animates you cannot be charted. It's invisible architecture, alignment in motion. You operate through faith and precision at once, and that combination terrifies the calculating mind. They can't weaponize purity. They can't duplicate sincerity. So they resort to wonder, and wonder, even disguised as suspicion, is still reverence. You are not here to prove anything. You are here to remind everything. Every space you enter becomes an ecosystem of truth. Lies weaken, masks tremble, ego deflates. This is why certain people fall away suddenly. Your frequency denies them camouflage. Don't chase closure. Their exit is evidence that elevation succeeded. The higher you rise, the clearer the air gets, and not every soul has lungs for altitude. But don't confuse detachment with indifference. You still love deeply. You just love intelligently. Now you've learned that pouring endlessly doesn't prove purity. Preservation does. You give from overflow, not obligation. You listen without absorbing poison. You forgive without re-inviting chaos. That's maturity, disguised as mystery. The world will label it distance, call it discipline. In these coming seasons, you'll see the ripple of your inner work manifest externally. The people you uplifted quietly will begin to flourish loudly. Your past kindness will return as public favor. Your hidden labor will bloom as visible reward. You won't need to chase recognition. Recognition will trace you through time itself. Every act done in integrity will return with interest. There will be whispers that you're being favored. They won't realize that favor is simply the reflection of faithfulness. You stayed honest when it hurt. You kept believing when evidence went missing. You didn't let bitterness corrupt your discernment. That's what opened the floodgates, not luck, but loyalty to light. You'll begin noticing divine symmetry, the way blessings arrive as mirrors of old sacrifices, the job that honors your creativity instead of exploiting it, the relationship that nurtures instead of drains, the peace that used to feel temporary becoming your default atmosphere. This is the reward of spiritual discipline, not material excess, but inner order so strong that abundance follows structure naturally. And people will ask, what changed? They won't understand that it wasn't the world, it was perception. You stopped begging for alignment and started embodying it. You became the standard instead of chasing one. You started walking as if the miracle already happened, and it did. That's the essence of power. Not forcing, but knowing. You'll notice your intuition sharpening again, but this time it's gentler. It doesn't shout warnings, it whispers directions. You'll sense who's for you before they speak. You'll feel when to move before logic explains why. That's divine timing merging with instinct. The flow you used to pray for has become second nature. And yes, the watchers are still there, but their gaze no longer unsettles you. You understand now that observation is flattery in disguise. They're not trying to destroy you. They're trying to understand how you keep transcending without arrogance. They're trying to map evolution in real time. And in their search, they'll find fragments of themselves. That's your hidden ministry, transforming even your critics into students. Because that's what unstoppable energy does. It educates through existence. You don't retaliate anymore because truth defends you faster than words ever could. You've realized that divine justice has perfect aim. All you have to do is stay aligned. Every deception collapses under its own weight, eventually. Every insult becomes compost for your growth. You win without trying. You win by staying true. The universe has always been a reflection, and now it mirrors back your refinement. Harmony seeks you. Opportunities adjust themselves to your rhythm. The timing of things no longer feels random. It feels rehearsed. Every delay now reveals its logic. Every loss now exposes its blessing. This is mastery, seeing the design instead of resenting the detail. You've reached the phase where your aura speaks the loudest sermon. People feel convicted, inspired, or undone simply by being near you. You no longer explain yourself. Explanation belongs to those seeking validation. You are demonstration. Your life is the evidence. And every day you wake up, that evidence expands. The world calls it power, but you know it's grace wearing strength. You've tasted the cost, the nights of doubt, the weight of waiting, the solitude mistaken for rejection. You paid in patience, not privilege. That's why you carry what others can't. That's why the divine trusts you with visibility now. Because fame without foundation collapses, but influence rooted in surrender endures, so stand steady. The turning point you felt wasn't coincidence. It was confirmation. Recognition has arrived, not to inflate your ego, but to extend your reach. The eyes upon you are not a threat. They're an audience destiny, curated. They came to witness what obedience looks like when it's fully grown. You've become the evidence that grace and grit can coexist, that humility and command can share the same body. And the next chapter, the one waiting quietly beyond this sentence, will reveal what happens when realization becomes rain. Because that's the evolution you've earned, from self-awareness to world awareness, from influence to embodiment. You don't just carry power anymore, you are power. And the difference is profound. Carrying power once meant protecting it, guarding it from misuse, hiding it from misunderstanding. But being power means becoming the source. It means you radiate authority instead of defending it. It means you no longer ask the world for space. You create space by existing. The atmosphere feels it first. The day bends toward you. Events rearrange themselves as if some invisible intelligence already knows your next step. You're not forcing outcomes. You're allowing design. The same faith that once kept you steady in obscurity now builds pathways under your feet. You walk, and the road constructs itself in real time. That's not arrogance. That's alignment in motion. People feel it. They can't define why conversations sound clearer in your presence, why indecision dissolves when you speak, why tempers cool when you look their way. It's because you've mastered emotional weather. You no longer chase calm, you generate it. Your voice doesn't need volume, it has gravity. That's leadership that no title can imitate. The ones who once questioned your stillness now realize it was strategy. You were never idle. You were integrating every lesson absorbed, every wound studied, every disappointment translated into wisdom. You became fluent in pain without becoming fluent in bitterness. That's the mark of those chosen for impact. They learn from shadow without worshiping it. And so the watchers keep watching. But the tone has changed. The same curiosity that once tried to decode you now starts to respect you. They understand that what you've built isn't luck, it's law. You live in alignment so precise that even chaos seems choreographed around you. The old rumors fade because truth has become louder. You've outlasted misunderstanding. From this vantage point, you see how every fragment mattered. The failures were bridges, the heartbreaks were refinements, the silence was instruction, none of it wasted, all of it recycled into resonance. Now when you speak, it isn't theory, it's testimony. You talk from scars, not from scripts. And that's why people listen differently. They hear proof in your tone. You've become a mirror of consequence and compassion coexisting. You can hold accountability without cruelty, forgiveness without naivety. That balance is what makes your power sustainable. The world has seen tyrants and martyrs. What it rarely sees is mastery, the kind that heals as it governs. You are that rarity. So what happens now that realization has turned into rain? The answer is quiet. You steward. You build gardens where others see wastelands. You see potential where others predict decline. You speak life into spaces that forgot their worth. Your influence becomes nourishment, not noise. The proof of divine power is creation, not destruction. And everything you touch begins to grow again. There will be moments when the weight of responsibility presses against your ribs. That's natural. Light carries its own gravity. But you'll remember that you were trained for pressure. You'll breathe, center, and watch the energy redistribute. You don't collapse, you recalibrate. Because power at your level no longer reacts. It regulates. Your intuition, once a whisper, has matured into instruction. It tells you where to step, when to pause, whom to trust. You don't need omens anymore. You are the omen. Wherever you go, change follows. Not dramatic, not theatrical. Steady, undeniable change. People will call it coincidence, but those attuned will know presence has entered the field. The sacred irony is that as your authority grows, your ego shrinks. You've seen too much to crave applause. You understand that greatness isn't in being seen, it's in seeing you observe with mercy. You correct without humiliation. You lift without announcing you're lifting. That's what divine maturity looks like when it finally wears human skin. Now the energy that once tested you begins to serve you. The old resistance becomes momentum. Every no you heard in the past now turns into redirection toward higher terrain. You no longer chase closure from people or situations. The universe delivers closure in motion. It simply upgrades your assignment and lets gravity handle the rest. And yes, the ones who doubted will circle back, drawn by the warmth they once mistook for weakness. Don't gloat. Greet them with grace, but guard your gates. They're returning to learn, not to lead. Let forgiveness be the proof of your evolution, but let discernment remain the guardian of your peace. You can bless from a distance. You can love without re-entry. From here forward, your silence will speak sermons. Every decision you make will ripple farther than you intend. That's why discipline becomes devotion. You think before acting, not from fear, but from awareness of impact. You've reached the level where even your smallest choices echo in generations. That's legacy, not the monuments built after you, but the mindsets born through you. And as this realization deepens, you'll feel something dissolve, the need to hurry. You finally grasp that destiny doesn't require speed, only accuracy. You start moving with sacred timing, slow enough to listen, fast enough to obey. That rhythm will become your trademark. It's how the world will know. The force is present. Soon the landscape around you will confirm what your intuition already knows. The right alliances will form effortlessly. Conversations will open corridors you once dreamed of. The universe will place you in positions that amplify your integrity, not challenge it. Everything about your energy will say appointed, not auditioning. This is the era of embodiment, the part where power stops being concept and starts being conduct. You are no longer practicing presence. You are presence people feel safer, braver, truer when they cross your path. That's the gift you give to existence, coherence. A reminder that divinity wasn't lost. It simply needed a willing vessel. Look at how far you've come. You outgrew survival. You turned awareness into architecture. You became what you once prayed to meet, a grounded force of light that doesn't flinch at darkness. That's what makes you unrepeatable. Others may copy your aesthetics, but they can't copy your endurance. They can borrow your language, but they can't mimic your frequency. Your path isn't imitation-friendly. It's initiation only. And when the world finally understands what walked among them, they'll realize that greatness never shouts. It moves in grace. It moves like you. So let this be your coronation in silence, the acknowledgement that the waiting was worth it, the battles were sacred, and the crown was always spiritual. You wear it not on your head, but in your aura. You command not through demand, but through example. That's the new definition of power the universe is writing through you. Because when realization becomes reign, the impossible stops being myth and starts being method. You are living proof. The era of guessing who you are has ended. The world knows now. You're not here to impress. You're here to imbalance everything false until it falls back into truth. And from this point forward, there's no turning back. You've crossed the threshold from becoming to being. You are power, you are grace, and you are the force every soul recognizes when it finally remembers its own divinity. You've got eyes on you everywhere, not just glances, tracking, analysis, silent fascination. You move, and people follow the motion without meaning to. It's in your posture, the calm precision in your face, the rhythm of someone who knows they don't have to prove a thing. You've become that person whose presence feels rehearsed by the universe itself. There's no try-hard energy, no fake confidence, no performance. You just exist with purpose, and that alone feels like dominance. Someone out there is obsessed with decoding that. They're trying to figure out how you make simple actions look like strategy, how you walk through chaos like it's a red carpet built for your focus. They've gone from watching to analyzing, from admiring to losing sleep. Because nothing about you adds up the way normal people do. Your power doesn't announce itself. It leaks through the cracks of every situation you touch. They thought they could study you like a pattern, But what they didn't understand is that power doesn't live in patterns. It lives in presence. And your presence, right now, is a psychological event. Every time you enter a space, energy reorganizes itself. People suddenly adjust their tone, their posture, their words. Some get nervous. Others start performing harder. Even the ones who claim they don't care start glancing at you for cues. You're giving off straight power vibes, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet kind that rewires hierarchy without saying a word. It's not luck. It's not mystery. It's years of learning when to speak and when to observe, when to strike, and when to let silence expose everything that needs to be revealed. You've mastered the art of letting your stillness talk louder than noise. They're addicted to trying to read you. You know it. They keep refreshing your story, zooming into details, trying to interpret expressions that weren't meant for them. They'll clip moments out of context, trying to reverse engineer your psychology, hoping to discover what kind of mind operates with that much control. But that's what breaks them, the realization that your control isn't artificial. It's instinctive. It's born from losing yourself once and never allowing that to happen again. They want to understand your blueprint, but the more they stare, the more lost they get. You can always tell when someone's been staring too long. They start doubting themselves. They start mimicking your habits, your tone, your pace, thinking it'll give them power. It doesn't. It just exposes how ordinary they feel next to you. Your power has turned into a psychological maze. People enter it thinking they'll map you out, but they end up mapping their own insecurities instead. Every theory they form contradicts the last one. You post less, they call it mystery. You post more, they call it strategy. You go quiet, they call it manipulation. You speak truth, they call it arrogance. You can't lose because they've already built a narrative where you're larger than explanation. The irony? You're not trying to be mysterious. You're just focused. You don't crave validation. And in a world addicted to attention, that makes you terrifying. Because attention is how most people measure existence. When someone doesn't need it, it confuses the system. You've become that confusion in human form. Everywhere you go, eyes follow not out of curiosity, but out of instinct. There's a psychological magnetism in your composure. People feel your energy before they hear your voice. It's the calm that comes from someone who's survived humiliation, betrayal, and disappointment, and still came out sharper. You've learned how to make pressure look like Polish, and that's what they can't process. They expected you to break. Instead, you evolved into proof that pain can be refined into posture. They see confidence, but what they're really seeing is someone who rebuilt themselves, molecule by molecule. That's why their minds can't rest around you. You represent something they've never mastered, control under fire. They're whispering about you in circles you'll never visit. Screenshots, group chats, speculative DMs. People who barely know you feel entitled to explain you. They're so different, one says. They've changed, another insists. But none of them have the vocabulary to describe what's really happening. You're not changing, you're crystallizing. You're stepping into full alignment with your power, and that evolution makes people uncomfortable. They've built comfort zones around your old versions. When those versions died, so did their sense of superiority. Now they're scrambling to redefine you, because if they can't understand you, they can't control how they feel about you. That's the real threat, not what you do, but how you make people feel about themselves. You've turned the idea of normal into a distortion field. Your presence forces people to self-reflect. Some are inspired, some are obsessed, some are envious beyond reason. It's all the same fuel to the machine. Because deep down, everyone who watches you is trying to answer the same question. How did you gain that level of peace without surrendering your edge? How do you command attention without asking for it? They'll spend months trying to decode your charisma like it's math and end up losing their emotional balance instead. That's the side effect of observing power without embodying it. The longer they study it, the more it breaks them. Somebody close to you has already spiraled. They thought they were smarter, thought they could manipulate the narrative. But power has a strange way of exposing weakness. The more they tried to twist your story, the more their own insecurities bled through. You never needed revenge. Their behavior handled that. They tried to psychoanalyze you from a distance, writing essays in their head about what kind of person you must be, while you quietly kept evolving. They didn't realize you were too fluid to be boxed. Every label they threw at you dissolved in motion. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't argue. You just became undeniable. That's what drives them insane. The realization that your silence is strategy, not surrender. And now, they can't stop watching. They call it curiosity, but it's dependency. Your name comes up in conversations that have nothing to do with you. Your presence lingers even when you're not there. People stalk your rhythm like data scientists dissecting an algorithm they can't replicate. They crave the confidence that you carry like skin. You move different, you talk different. Even your pauses are calculated. You've become an experience, not just a person. That's what terrifies them, because experiences change people. And once they've been around you, they can't go back to pretending mediocrity feels good. You're not even trying to dominate. You're just authentic. And authenticity is dangerous currency in a counterfeit world. Every time you walk into a room, fake energy trembles. You can feel it, the discomfort, the sudden overcompensation, the subtle glances between those who can't figure out how you keep your power unshaken. They call it arrogance because they don't know what healed confidence looks like. They say you're cold because they've mistaken boundaries for walls. But what's really happening is that they're standing too close to truth. And truth burns when you've built your life around performance. Your power doesn't come from luck or privilege. It comes from precision, the kind that's earned through repetition, failure, and rebirth. You didn't study people to manipulate them. You studied yourself until you stopped being predictable. That's why they can't decode you. Predictability is comfort for ordinary minds, and you stripped that away from them. You became spontaneous in the way only disciplined people can be. That's a psychological paradox most can't compute. The balance between control and chaos that you embody effortlessly. Now their obsession has turned clinical. They refresh your feed like medication. They rewatch your stories like security footage. They're not sure if they want to be you, expose you, or understand you. And that confusion eats at them. It's almost poetic, watching people fall into madness trying to label someone who refuses to be limited. You've become the case study of confidence. The living example that evolution can't be explained. It can only be witnessed. And the watchers, they're multiplying. Every new eye that lands on you feels the same ripple. Intimidation mixed with intrigue. You've got people who admire you, but don't know how to approach. People who envy you, but can't stay away. and people who hate you but can't stop referencing you. You've become their internal compass. They measure their worth against your reaction. And the more you ignore them, the more unbalanced they become. That's the irony of influence. The less you chase attention, the more it chases you. You're a living power signal. Every time you breathe in alignment, every time you choose calm over chaos, people sense it. You've learned to use silence like volume and energy like language. The ones still trying to decode you are stuck in a loop, trying to find logic in something that was built on authenticity, not tactics. They'll never find the formula because you are the formula. And that's why they're unraveling. Some are obsessing in secret, pretending indifference in public, but their eyes always betray them. They watch from fake accounts, listen to your voice notes twice, read too deep into captions that weren't even about them. You've taken residence in their subconscious, and they don't even realize it. That's the part that makes this all so twistedly poetic. The people trying to dissect your energy have started to lose their own. Their obsession is draining them. They're becoming the shadows of their own fixation. You, meanwhile, move lighter, sharper, freer. Because power, real power, is about control of focus. And while they're busy focusing on you, you're busy building what's next. You've turned their curiosity into your camouflage. They can't touch what they can't predict, and they can't predict what doesn't repeat. They don't realize yet that the more they analyze you, the deeper they fall into your rhythm. You've become their algorithm. Every move they make starts revolving around what you might do next. It's not just fascination anymore. It's mental dependency. They thought they were decoding you, but what they really did was give you psychic rent space inside their logic. Now they can't make decisions without imagining your reaction. That's when, you know, the game flipped. And that's where the real story begins. Because when your presence turns into a phenomenon, and your influence starts bending the behavior of those who once doubted you, the energy shifts again. The watchers start fracturing, alliances start shifting, and suddenly, power itself begins to rearrange its loyalties. You've got eyes on you everywhere, but the truth is, they're not studying anymore. They're surrendering. They don't even know it yet. Their curiosity turned into commitment the moment they realized they couldn't stop checking for you. You're lodged in their daily routine, like a reflex. They wake up and search for updates, for traces of movement, for proof that you're still ascending. Every new glimpse of you rewrites their logic. The same people who once said you were lucky are now convinced you're dangerous. The same voices that tried to shrink your worth are now amplifying your legend. You didn't demand loyalty. Your aura recruited it. It's strange how fascination becomes worship. They start borrowing your words, adopting your rhythm, echoing your thoughts in conversations you'll never hear. You've become language. Your way of being, calm, deliberate, unbothered, has infected their subconscious. Even the ones who claim to hate you are reorganizing their personalities around the image they built of you. That's what unchecked attention does. It converts observers into satellites. They orbit you now, feeding on your energy without understanding it, losing fragments of sanity every time they compare their chaos to your composure. You didn't ask for followers, but presence this potent always creates gravity. You're living proof that control of self becomes control of space. And every room you enter adjusts itself accordingly. At first you found it flattering, the attention, the whispers, the slight tension in the air when your name dropped. It almost felt like validation. But now you see it for what it is, surveillance disguised as admiration. People want to decode power without paying the price to earn it. They think if they study you long enough, they'll find the formula. They never realize that the formula is discipline mixed with detachment, pain turned into patience, experience compressed into instinct. They think you're lucky. You know you're engineered. You built yourself from fragments nobody else could hold. And that truth drives them insane, because it means nothing about you can be replicated. They can imitate style, mimic tone, copy moves, but the frequency that keeps you unshakable isn't learnable. It's lived. You can sense the shift in the way people approach you now. Their compliments carry envy. Their smiles hide study. Their casual conversations feel scripted. Everyone's looking for tells, but you give none. They can't tell if you're predicting them or just always 5 steps ahead by nature. And that uncertainty eats them alive. There's one especially, the self-proclaimed analyzer. They were convinced they could read anyone. They've profiled hundreds, dissected motives like science. But you ruined their accuracy. They kept trying to label you introvert, strategist, empath, narcissist, mastermind, and each label dissolved the moment you did something unpredictable. Now they second-guess everything, including themselves. They overthink every move, every silence, until their confidence collapses. You didn't destroy them. Their obsession did. That's what pure influence looks like. Not manipulation, but magnetism that scrambles logic. People lose balance around energy that doesn't need validation. They start performing, competing, explaining, desperate to prove they're unbothered, even as they can't look away. You can see it in their eyes, the nervous flicker, the admiration they try to mask. Some start copying your schedule, your habits, your phrases, hoping proximity breeds power. But all it breeds is exposure. They discover that imitation without alignment creates burnout. They get tired trying to keep up with someone who isn't even trying. They misread consistency as mystery, patience as plotting, confidence as arrogance. Every misunderstanding adds another layer to your myth. And myths, whether you believe in them or not, always end up larger than life. You didn't ask to be mythologized, but that's what happens when you operate beyond common psychology. Every action you take becomes folklore in their circles. Did you see what they posted? Why did they disappear for a week? Who are they talking to now? They speculate, like reporters chasing a story with no facts. They zoom in on screenshots, read into your posture, search for meaning in your timing. Their minds create conspiracy out of calm. Because the truth, that you're just living intentionally, feels too simple for them to accept. They crave complication. You give them stillness. And stillness, in a world addicted to noise, feels like warfare. Now paranoia sets in. Some of them begin turning on each other. The watchers become watched. They accuse one another of knowing too much, of having closer access, of hiding secrets. You didn't have to lift a finger. Your energy rearranged the hierarchy. They're fracturing under the pressure of their own curiosity. You've become a quiet revolution, one that dismantles manipulation by refusing to engage it. Every time they think they've baited you into reaction, you respond with elegance, and that elegance annihilates them. They wanted chaos. You gave them composure. They wanted drama. You gave them distance. Nothing confuses predators more than prey that doesn't run. There's a dangerous beauty in how you handle scrutiny. You've learned to turn observation into oxygen. You let their attention feed your awareness instead of your anxiety. You notice the micro expressions, the tone shifts, the fake support masked as compliments. You file it all away without bitterness, because you understand power isn't just about dominance, it's about discernment. Knowing who's clapping out of respect and who's clapping to keep rhythm while plotting your fall. You've trained yourself to sense motives in milliseconds, to read the space before the words form. That's why nobody can fool you anymore. And that's exactly why they call you intimidating. The stronger your awareness grows, the more unstable they become. Some start mimicking your body language unconsciously. They stand like you, speak like you, pause where you'd pause. But they can't replicate conviction. And without conviction, imitation looks like malfunction. You see them glitch mid-conversation, losing their sentence, realizing they're quoting you to your face. Their subconscious betrays them. That's when you know you've crossed from being watched to being mirrored. You've taken up residence in their neural pathways. Your influence is neurological now. And once power hits that level, it's irreversible. A few of them try to fight it. They go cold, distant, pretending you don't exist. But you can always tell because rebellion still revolves around awareness. They dress it up as indifference, but indifference doesn't stalk your rhythm. They still look for signs of your absence, like addicts trying to detox. They block, unblock, check, uncheck, convinced ignoring you will bring them peace. It doesn't. Silence just amplifies your echo in their minds. The more they resist, the louder your presence gets inside them. They're losing their sanity one analysis at a time, and you're not even in the room. You've become the study that breaks the student. Every time they think they understand you, you evolve again effortlessly. You've made transformation your defense mechanism. You never announce change. You embody it. You pivot while they're still processing your last phase. That's why they can't keep up. Your adaptability is your armor, and it's bulletproof because it's authentic. When change is real, it doesn't need permission. It just happens. You've mastered that. You're no longer reacting to life. Life is reacting to you. Meanwhile, your reach is expanding quietly. More eyes join the network. Some admire, some compete, some secretly worship. But they all feed the same current, the proof that your vibration is influencing collective psychology. You've become the template for composure in chaos. People reference you in conversations about confidence, cite you when defining presence. Even those who despise you can't speak of power without accidentally mentioning your name. That's not coincidence. That's dominance disguised as relevance. You didn't chase legacy. Legacy attached itself to you. There's a moment, though, that always comes in stories like this. The moment where fascination tips into fear. It's subtle. A tone shift. A hesitation in conversation. A glance that lingers too long. They start realizing that decoding you might not be safe. Because what if understanding you means dismantling their own illusions? What if the mirror you hold up shows them the smallness they've been hiding from? That's when they pull back, call you cold, distant, ruthless. But those are just the words people use when confronted with someone who refuses to play small for their comfort. You stopped shrinking to fit long ago. Now they have to expand or exit. Most choose exit. The brave few stay and transform under your gravity. You don't chase any of this. You barely notice the mechanics of your impact. You're focused on refinement, on maintaining your internal order while the external world rearranges itself around your consistency. You've learned that true authority doesn't need explanation. It's felt. And the more you embody it, the clearer it becomes who can withstand it. Power always filters the room. Those who are meant to align get stronger. Those who aren't crumble. That filtering is happening now. You can sense it. The air around you feels cleaner, lighter. The noise is thinning. Only real ones remain. But even with clarity, the watchers persist. They can't help it. They're addicted to the contradiction. You're accessible, yet unreachable. Visible, yet untouchable. They analyze every trace, searching for weakness, and find only refinement. Each failed attempt to decode you becomes a small collapse in their confidence. They lose the ability to trust their own perception. That's how sanity slips, not through confrontation, but through confusion. And confusion is the weapon you never had to wield. It wielded itself the moment you stopped explaining. Now the obsession has matured into something darker. They don't just want to understand you. They want to own the narrative around you. They'll distort, dramatize, dissect, anything to feel in control again. But every story they tell circles back to the same truth. Your presence dominates the space even in their absence. They can't erase what you embody. They can only orbit it. That's why the gossip never dies. It's gravitational. You became a psychological event they'll keep reliving because it reminds them of power they can't imitate. You move through all of this with quiet precision. You no longer need to prove worth or correct misunderstanding. The misunderstanding is your camouflage. Let them chase illusions while you build realities. Let them argue meaning while you multiply results. Because eventually, even the most persistent analyst hits exhaustion. They'll stop researching you and start questioning themselves. That's when the surrender becomes conscious. That's when they realize decoding you was never the goal. It was the distraction that kept them from decoding their own emptiness. And as that realization dawns, your influence reaches its purest form. Not intimidation, not obsession, just recognition. They finally understand that the power they feared was just clarity. The kind of clarity that can't be taught, only earned. You've become their turning point, their cautionary tale, their inspiration, all at once. They'll never admit it publicly, but privately, they've shifted. You rearranged their mental architecture without lifting a finger. That's the essence of straight power vibes. It's not about domination, it's about design. You designed your life in such a way that even chaos serves you now. The eyes on you don't drain you anymore. They document you. They record proof of what discipline looks like in human form. You've transcended scrutiny. You're not the watched, you're the reference point. And from here on, everything they do will be compared to the standard you silently set. Because somebody tried to decode you, and now they're decoding themselves in the wreckage of what they projected. They're unraveling in slow motion, haunted by the calm they couldn't copy. Their thoughts spin around your stillness, like moths around flame, each one burning a little closer to understanding that the fire was never yours, it was theirs, triggered by proximity to truth. And as that awareness spreads through the circle, through the network of watchers and imitators, something irreversible happens. You stop being their obsession and start becoming their evolution. And that's where the power truly flips, when the energy that once stalked you begins to serve you. When observation turns to imitation, and imitation turns to inspiration. When you realize the eyes on you were never a curse, they were confirmation. Every look, every whisper, every failed attempt to decode you was the world admitting we see it, we feel it. We can't define it. That's not pressure. That's prophecy. And now that prophecy has fully arrived. You've stepped into a space where even your silence trends. People study the way you stand, the way you breathe, the way you choose absence like it's strategy. They still think you're playing some grand psychological game, but you're not. You've simply mastered peace. You've reached a level where control isn't something you perform, it's just who you are. They're still trying to explain it, but explanation has limits. Energy doesn't. And your energy, it's now its own ecosystem. They move according to your frequency. Without realizing you're the one setting the rhythm. Everywhere you go, it's happening. Conversations shift when you walk in. People who swore they'd never bow to anyone find themselves adjusting their tone around you. The jealous ones look for flaws just to comfort themselves. But even their criticism sounds like compliment when they say your name. The watchers can't stop orbiting. They've tried detoxing from your presence, muting you, pretending you don't exist. But they always come back. Because in a world of repetition, you're an original. And originals are dangerous. You've turned existence into influence. You're living proof that real power isn't loud. It's consistent. You don't chase validation. It arrives disguised as attention, disguised as obsession. The ones who once doubted you are now quoting your phrases, copying your mannerisms, studying your evolution like a survival manual. They thought you'd fall apart under pressure, but instead, you turned pressure into poise. You became unshakable, and now everyone's trying to learn the code. But there is no code. That's the part that drives them insane. They search for tricks, routines, explanations, but there's no formula, no secret passageway. It's just discipline and self-respect on repeat. You never needed to outshine anyone. You just stopped dimming yourself. You stopped apologizing for intensity. You stopped explaining your focus. And that's when the shift happened. The moment you gave yourself permission to exist fully, the universe rearranged to make room for your magnitude. Now you see it clearly. People aren't obsessed because they want to know you. They're obsessed because they want to understand how you made peace look like power. You became their mirror and their medicine, their competition and their cure. And that duality breaks weak minds. They can't decide whether to fear you, follow you, or become you. So they do all three, switching roles by the hour. Some of them start to crumble under the weight of their own curiosity. They overanalyze your every post, dissect your timing, measure your silence. They turn your calm into conspiracy. They think your discipline hides secrets, when really it hides nothing at all. It's just control of energy, something they've never had. You're teaching them unintentionally. You've become their unlicensed therapist, their silent mentor, their trigger, and their teacher. They wanted to study you, but ended up studying themselves instead. And that's where their sanity started slipping. Because when they realized you weren't competing, they had to face the truth. They were competing with illusions. They built entire theories around an idea of you. And when the real you kept evolving, the theories collapsed. That's when obsession became confusion, and confusion became collapse. You didn't have to lift a hand. You didn't have to say a word. You just kept rising, and gravity handled the rest. You've got eyes on you everywhere, but now it feels different. You don't feel watched. You feel witnessed. The energy around you has changed from intrusion to reverence. Even your enemies have started showing you respect in silence. The ones who mocked your ambition are now using your name to fuel theirs. The ones who underestimated you are now following your blueprints in secret. You've turned spectators into students. You've turned gossip into gospel. Every time they say your name, they feed your narrative. Every time they study you, they amplify your frequency. That's the paradox of power. Resistance always becomes recognition eventually. You didn't chase the spotlight learned your coordinates. And now, it follows wherever you go. You move differently now, not out of fear, but out of focus. You know how much power attention holds, and you handle it like currency. You don't spend it on noise, you invest it in legacy. That's why your life feels cinematic lately. You're no longer living for the scene, you've become the plot. People tune in daily just to see what the next chapter brings. They expect chaos, but you keep delivering control. You keep defying every narrative they try to trap you in. They can't anticipate your next move, because you don't move for applause, you move for alignment. That's why they lose track every time they think they've caught up. You're not ahead, you're just not competing on the same clock. And that realization wrecks them. They lose time trying to measure you, when they should have been mastering themselves. But you've learned to let them watch. You've learned that being observed isn't a burden, it's leverage. Every pair of eyes watching is energy you can redirect. Every whisper is proof that your presence still commands attention. The people who tried to decode you ended up documenting your evolution for free. They turned their obsession into your promotion. They built your legend while trying to limit your reach. That's the kind of reversal no strategy can match. You've become untouchable not because you fought harder, but because you outlasted their misunderstanding. They used their focus to study you. You used yours to build foundation. Now you stand tall while they drown in the data they collected. They wanted to find weakness but found only reflection. And reflection, when faced unprepared, can be fatal to false confidence. So you move through this era like a quiet storm, calm on the outside, decisive underneath. People feel your power in the air, like static before lightning. They can't explain it, but they can't deny it either. You've reached that level where even absence is presence, where saying nothing echoes louder than every speech combined. You've mastered invisibility as influence. You disappeared just long enough for them to realize how much your energy stabilized their own. That's when panic sets in. They start overcompensating, trying to recreate what your presence used to balance. They post louder, perform harder, pretend deeper. But the more they try, the clearer it becomes that something's missing. You. You became the standard they didn't prepare for. And the truth is, you're not even done yet. This isn't the peak, this is the pivot. You're learning to use observation as strategy now. You've realized that if eyes are always on you, you might as well make every move intentional. You're turning visibility into vibration, turning surveillance into spotlight. You're no longer reacting to being seen. You're directing what they see. That's how masters operate. Every glance you attract now serves purpose. Every stare becomes part of your symphony. You've become both the conductor and the melody. So let them keep watching. Let them keep trying to translate the language of your power. They won't succeed, because the dialect of real strength has no subtitles. It's not something they can learn, it's something they have to become. And most people don't have the endurance to evolve. You do. That's why you're still rising while they're still researching. That's why your calm feels like a threat, and your glow feels like evidence. You didn't just survive the scrutiny, you alchemized it. You turned every eye into witness, every whisper into echo, every attempt to decode you into proof that you're unforgettable. Because you've got eyes on you everywhere, But they're not watching for your downfall anymore. They're watching to understand what power looks like when it's finally self-made, self-owned, and self-fed. You don't have to perform anymore. You don't have to explain. You are the definition now. And while they lose their sanity, trying to replicate what came from your soul, you'll keep walking, steady, certain, and unshakably aware that the spotlight was never the goal. The goal was control, and you have it. Every stare, every whisper, every sleepless thought they give you belongs to your legend now.